All right, good afternoon, Peekskill. Good afternoon. Today is this September 7th, 2021. My name is Rainey. I'm the proud mayor of the great city of Peekskill, New York. Oh, I am joined with our awesome city manager, Mr. Andy Stewart, and our wonderful police chief, Mr. Don Harmby. Chief, good afternoon. Andy, good afternoon.
How are you, Mayor? It's great to see you.
Doing well, doing well. Great to see you both. Happy to be here. And as all of you know, as we've been doing every week for almost a little over a year and a half, almost a year and a half now, just giving you a weekly update on what City of Peekskill is doing, what we're facing, the challenges that we're facing as far as COVID. And me, myself, and the city manager decided that we would give you a little bit more of what's going on rather than just the COVID numbers. But we're going to begin, as we do every week, with COVID information. So I'll turn it over to Andy. Andy, let's get it in.
All right, Mayor. So first of all, I got a feedback problem here. Hold on. Not sure what that was. So can you hear me okay, Mayor?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
So the COVID numbers are coming up in terms of the case rate. It's up to 60, 62 actually, from a few days ago when Westchester County published their data. We always look at the data dashboard. We post it to the city Facebook page if anybody wants an easy way of getting there. So there's 62 cases. That's up from 60 last week, 50, 46. It's going down. It's been coming up the last couple of weeks. Our vaccination rate hit a new high, which is great, of 72.9% of folks over 12 who got at least one dose in the city of Peekskill. So our numbers coming up. We're actually ahead of some neighboring municipalities now. So congratulations, city of Peekskill folks, for going out and getting a shot. I wanted to mention while we're talking about COVID, because we always start this way, is that there will be an opportunity to very easily get vaccinated right in front of the Seatown supermarket on the 12th. That's Sunday the 12th between 12:30 and 3:30. There's some volunteers there. They're going to have the Pfizer vaccine with support from Sun River Health and the Spanish-speaking people there. There's other people just offering that to anybody who happens to be coming in and out of the supermarket. It's what we call a pop-up vaccination event. And we thank the volunteers from Vax Up Westchester, the NAACP, and others who are organizing that. It's really great, easy to take advantage of. So that service is there. There's other places people can get vaccinated very easily as well.
Beautiful. All right, so it's good to hear. So 62 positive active cases right now and 72.9% vaccination in the city of Peekskill.
Yep.
Okay, good. We encourage people to continuously get tested. I know some places are requiring certain like things like bi-weekly testing now. But if you haven't gotten tested, if you feel any symptoms, make sure you take some time out to get tested so you're aware. That way you can help prevent infecting other people, especially if you have not been vaccinated. And even if you have been vaccinated, the vaccine doesn't prevent COVID. It just helps your body deal with COVID. All right. So thank you so much, Andy, for providing us with those numbers. Before we get into our normal information, we do have a guest on the line today, our wonderful chief, Donald Harmby. So Chief, I know you'd like to say a few words to the people. Let us know what's going on in the police department or just what's going on with you. And after you, we'll follow up with some regular information. But thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thank you. And thank you, Andy. I appreciate the opportunity to just speak for a couple of minutes. I know, as most of you probably heard, that I announced at pretty much the end of this month that I would be retiring. It's been about 22 and a half years that I've worked for the city of Peekskill. And as I like to tell people, it's 22 and a half years that have mirrored, the most important years of my life, truly, not only did I become a police officer in those years and then advanced through the ranks in the city of Peekskill here, I also, became a married man. I became a father of, 2 children who are practically adults now. And, just kind of have evolved as a person, over those years. And really between family, friends, and working for the city of Peekskill, and that really defines, my life. And, a good, 40% of my life, has been spent here, as a member of the police department, and, the last 3.5 years as the chief of this great city. So it's really been, just nothing but special memories, nothing but, just the most positive thoughts. For me, coming into the city of Peekskill, I'd never been in the city of Peekskill. Probably the first day I ever came to Peekskill was on a job interview to become a police officer here. Didn't really know much about it. Had moved up from New York City, and came here for the interview. And after being hired, all of a sudden Peekskill went from, a city that I knew nothing about to a city that, I like to think that, I'm, well, not an expert. I pretty much have seen all the comings and goings over that 22 and a half year period. And it's been, it's been an exciting run. I would say that when I look at how things were when I first started, there was, empty storefronts everywhere. I hate to say it, but drugs were, common to be seen, out on the street, drug dealing, people, loitering for illicit purposes. Prostitution was a big problem here. Just areas where we were constantly had to, make hourly checks at. You had to be at certain locations every day, every night, every hour. You had to spend, 5, 10, 15 minutes just at that location. And the reality is that today, that was 1999 when I first started. And today in 2021, those locations don't exist anymore. Those problems that we had, back in 99 and 2000, 2001, they really don't exist anymore. We have different problems. We evolve as a city just as we evolve as a nation and as a world. And there are different concerns, such as, traffic with so many cars on the road today, that becomes kind of a focal point. But we look at the evolution of the city and really, whether it's the role the police played, the role that all city staff and all city departments, whether it's DPW or Section 8 and nutrition with the seniors, the water department, the clerk's office, corporation council, everyone just really has done just such an amazing job over this time period. And we've really seen, the evolution of this city, be such positive change. People always complain. People are going to complain, till the end. But the things people complain about today are nothing like they used to complain about. And I know I pulled out old newspaper clippings and especially after the George Floyd case, and there was this concern about, whether it was excessive force or other things going on with police officers that were real concerns for the community. And, I looked at old newspapers that we have here, and there were, serious concerns. I mean, there were big protests, marching in the city about whether it was about crime, whether it was the relationship with the police department. And, I'm so happy to say that most of that doesn't exist anymore, that we've evolved again in such a positive direction that the problems of 30 years ago, don't really exist. And that's not something that I'm responsible for. That's something that we've all been responsible for over these, like I said, of a 30-year period, and not just city staff, but the political body, and certainly, Mayor, you and I kind of mirror each other. When you became the mayor, I became the police chief. And listen, I can live my life through stats. And I can tell you right now, over the last 3 years, every year the crime rate has dropped, in this city. So as a police officer and as the police chief, will I take some credit for that? Sure. But I think the two of you on this meeting should be taking credit for that, just as well, because it's not something that the police department does alone. It's not something that, one particular branch, whether it's the political body, whether it's the paid staff, it's or the community. Mm-hmm. It's really everyone. Everyone has played a part in that. And I can honestly say that in, coming in this job in 1999, that I'm leaving it today, in a better state. We joke that, when, I was Boy Scout and going to camp, the first thing they told you was you have to leave the campsite in better shape than when you found it. Right. And when all the kids always said, that's not my garbage, that was here when we got here. Yeah. I want to hear that. Clean that up.
That's the truth.
Still have to clean that up. You know what I mean? Because you want to leave that place looking better than when you found it. And I can honestly say today, that that in 2021, this city is a better city than it was in 1999. And again, that's not because of me, that's because of everyone. So it's something that I definitely am proud of, and hold my head up high. And it's just been great, to have been a part of this for so many years. It's exciting, and it'll always be a part. So I thank you for giving me that opportunity to kind of speak about it a minute.
It's been a true honor working with you. It's a great loss, the city of Peekskill, to see you go. And I encourage people all the time to get involved, stay involved. But when you're involved on this level at this capacity, I witness things. I've never really had many issues with the police. Not even just Peekskill, but just period. I just wasn't one of those people. I was fortunate enough to not have many run-ins or issues with police that weren't resolvable, or worth taking to like a national level. But I will say, with all the respect that I have for the police, I've grown a new respect for the police, especially in Peekskill. After the police task force phase of just trying to understand the patience that it takes to be able to answer everyone's fears, everyone's concerns, everyone's issues, and still be able to have a level-headed conversation. And I think that you've done a phenomenal job at that, as far as I've seen. I don't know what everyone else in the world's opinions is, but as a leader in the face of this city, I think it's important to recognize people who are in position to make change and make differences for our community. And I think you've done a phenomenal job that you've been here. And I know I'm not in a position to tell you not to not to go myself, but I will say working with you over these past 3.5 to 4 years has been an amazing experience, and it's definitely gave me a great insight on the actual hard work that the police have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. And I've been able to go on a few ride-alongs with some of your officers, which is Sergeant Kalia Carter, just to get an idea of what the police deal with on a regular basis. And that experience came from being able to communicate and work with you and your department. So despite all of the differences that people may have or think or say, I think you've done a phenomenal job. I think the majority of the city thinks the same. And we appreciate you, and your legacy will be left in a positive note.
Thank you. Thank you. And, I think most important, for everyone to always remember is nothing, change doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. If you have a good relationship with the community back and forth, meaning the police have a good relationship with the community, and the community has a good relationship with the police, then once you have that established that relationship, you can hopefully trust the process, and things will just keep moving forward in a positive way for positive change. And as long as both sides keep an open mind to change.
Right.
And I think that's the most important thing. We see it as police officers all the time. Change and this change that people will always be resistant to. And the reality is that most change that we have to adapt to is positive. Is good, even if you don't see it in the beginning. Most of it in the long run turns out to be good. And the perfect example is body cameras. When we went with the body camera program in 2016, we were one of the first departments to go with body cameras. And a lot of, officers were very hesitant, very resistant. It's, the proverbial big brother is watching now, and you're just trying to jam me up. And now you'll find today where most officers, if we told them we were doing away with the body cameras, they wouldn't want that.
Right.
They want to keep them, because the reality is that body cameras, vindicate most of their actions, and they, but at the same time too, they know the body camera's on. So when anyone ever says, I'm going to videotape you, you always say, that's okay. I'm videotaping you. I've done that since I got out of my car,
Right.
So I think, again, that's something that people resisted in the beginning, and then, they realize that it's a positive change, and there's plenty of positive changes like that. And people just have to, again, stay the course, trust the process. And, I think we'll just continue to grow with our relationship.
Absolutely. The body cameras are really awesome too. I think it's a safety thing for everyone. It's one of those things that works in the benefit of the community and the police officers. It kind of gives light to situations that, because there's been some cases in the past where you see like a video on social media and you're like, wow, like that's crazy. And then when you see the video from the body camera, you see the beginning. You see like the first 45 minutes of a chase and everything else that wasn't added to the video on social media. So it really helps us identify, not only the issues that we face, but also, when things are, posted for certain, people want certain like support, or they want certain, pushback or fight or active, people to get involved. Sometimes it gives an idea on the real story rather than just a snippet of the story that person wants everyone to believe.
Yeah, this is context. That's the problem.
Yeah.
A lot of times you need to know the whole story. And that's, listen, that's police investigation 101. You have to know the whole story,
Mhm.
not just that little snippet of a story. You need to stop and slow down and get the whole story.
Right. So, but it's been an honor. I could go on and on and on and on, but it's been a real honor working with you. And it's again sad to see you go, but happy that you're tackling new endeavors in your future with your family and loved ones. It's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, listen, it's bittersweet. It really is. I mean, you know, I think when as Andy knows, when I first told him, it was an emotional moment for me. It was, but I equated to when I told Andy that day, it was, and I spoke with you also right after I spoke with Andy, it was kind of like the wake. That was the wake. But I'm finally done. That'll be the funeral. Like for me emotionally, and as with everything else, life goes on, and you again, hopefully take the new challenges in life head on, and those are exciting too. But right now, it's more the bittersweet, sad part, of walking away from people you care about, people you respect, people that you just have these great relationships like I have with the two of you, and I just I am saddened to leave that too, but excited to create new relationships
There you go. For those people watching on social media and at home, that's just a figure of speech. Peekskill's not dying. Nobody's dead. It was just a term. No, it's just a metaphor. But yeah,
Yeah.
right. I want to make sure we clear that up, because that'll be like, oh, the police said somebody died.
That's how rumors get started, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but thank you so much, Chief. Like I said, we appreciate your service, and we look forward to, closing out these last few weeks with you as your term ends as the Chief of Police.
Yeah, it's been a heck of a year, with the coronavirus and the really extraordinary work with the community on police reform. It's been a really important year for me too. I just want to thank you, Chief, for the way you're sort of steadily, always thoughtful and smart, great communicator, really understand the personalities and so on. And it just gives me a lot of faith in our city and our police department. I think that kind of community partnership really speaks highly of everybody involved. So thanks for your leadership on that.
Thank you. And I think there'll be a good, hope, or I should say, I would hope there'd be a good, transition, with new leadership here, wherever that choice may come from, and that I think that the groundwork has been laid. I would never want to have left here, and moved on to something and left things, kind of hanging in the air, or not, just, kind of abandoned or forgotten. But I think groundwork has been laid, and as I said earlier about just trusting the process, the process has been put in place, and of course it will evolve, in different ways as it moves forward, but it is in place, and it will continue to make those positive changes.
Absolutely. All right.
Very much for those comments. It's really, I'm sure everybody will enjoy hearing this. It'll be posted to TV and everything else.
Absolutely. So, and we have a meeting later on today. You're going to be on too, right, Chief?
I will. Yeah, about an hour from now. Yep.
The work never stops.
All right.
All right. So again, Chief, thanks for everything, man. I don't know if you want to stick around, you can. If not, it's completely okay. Me and Andy are going to share some more information with the community about what's going on before we sign off. We also take a few questions from the community as well. So
Yep, I'll let you guys continue. I have some more stuff to prep. I do have a lot of work, but I thank you for giving me this opportunity. And again, and I thank, the citizens of Peekskill. Really, this is a great city, and it's a great city because of everyone.
Right.
So thank you.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and I'll see you in an hour.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, Mayor.
All right.
So a couple of things I just want to mention quickly. This is a really important time of year for families and kids. The Youth Bureau is registering people into the Lift after school program. It's for kids ages 10 to 13. And there's a lot of great activities that they do, homework help and leadership development, health and safety, and other kinds of activities. With Mr. Francis there kind of running the show with Tuesday McDonald's, the director. Is really an important program. So the link to register for that's on our city Facebook page. So just the sign of the fall coming, right?
Yeah.
Schools will be opening.
I did want to. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
Go ahead. I just on a very prosaic level. As folks know, yesterday was a holiday, Labor Day. Hope everybody had a really wonderful long weekend. It also means our garbage schedule was delayed by a day. So Tuesday, Wednesday is a regular pickup instead of Monday, Tuesday. And also just a heads up for next week is one of our bulk trash pickup weeks. It'll be east side of the city on the 15th. So just heads up on that. It's Wednesday the 15th for the east side. And of course, the west side would be the next week after that for bulk trash.
Thanks for reminding people too. I keep forgetting
that. We've got
that's very important. People ask about it all the time,
Yeah, and if I could just put in a plug on that, one of the things we really struggle with as far as sanitation in the city is the trash cans in the downtown overflowing because people put big bags of trash in them, and then when somebody comes in with their coffee cup or something, there's no room left. So we really need people to stick to the rules. The bag trash from business and household goes out early in the morning. You set it on the curb. You don't go out in the afternoon and just fill up a trash can with a couple of bags of your trash. Save it for the morning pickup, please. We have pickup 6 days a week in the downtown area, which is plenty. But if people put their trash bags in the trash can, then they overflow for quite very obvious reasons. So please help us out with that. The guys are out there working hard, trying to clean up. And when stuff overflows, it blows around, turns into litter, and makes a bigger mess.
Mm-hmm. So I did want to mention this Friday, I want to thank Dr. Mauricio, the school board, as well as Daryl Francis and the youth bar. I believe Daryl Francis is the one spearheading this, but they're going to be meeting and greeting children at Hillcrest School and welcoming into school. And they're asking, fathers and men, leaders of the community, if you're available, please swing by. Just to meet and greet, just to encourage and inspire some of the young children that are going to school to have a successful school year. And just a little moment of encouragement. I think that's an awesome initiative. I'm going to do my best to make it. It's going to be from about 7:45 a.m. to about 8:20 a.m. on Friday at Hillcrest. Of course, if you do come, social distancing is required, and they also ask you to wear a mask. Fist pumps and elbow touches are what they're requesting rather than handshakes and anything else. But just to be there to clap the kids on as they walk to school, tell them to have a great year and encourage them to have a successful school year. I think it's awesome to have the men and leaders in this community get together to do such a thing. So if you're available Friday morning, come on out.
It's going to be wonderful. I mean, back to school is a super exciting time of year for everybody.
Yes. And the kids get to go back to in school, hopefully for the remainder of the school year. But as right now, they get to go back in school. One more thing I have on my list. I know you were going to mention the Rotary. So I did want to say to the people, tomorrow night, September 8th, is our actual committee of the whole meeting. So if you didn't see the meeting on Monday night, which was last night, it's because it didn't happen. As you all know, yesterday was Labor Day and today is Rosh Hashanah. So tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m., our committee of the whole meeting will be aired on a local government channel, and as well as you'll be able to find it on the city website. But we did not have a meeting this past Monday. The meeting will be held tomorrow night at 9 September 8th at 7:30 p.m.
Yep, and then and that meeting is going to be held virtually, so you can watch it on TV or click on
Anywhere, right?
the live stream off the internet. And City Council will be participating via Zoom call. So we appreciate the technology for enabling us to meet safely. The City Council may decide to continue holding council hall meetings virtually or remotely. We're also working on a hybrid setup for common council meetings so that we can provide for both in person and remote. So that just takes a little more gadgetry to make it work. So bear with us on that. The planning commission is actually going to be using that method for their meeting next week. So they'll sort of our guinea pigs to make sure it works okay.
Perfect. So one of the events that you mentioned to me earlier, which I'm happy to share, and you can give the details if you like, but Ray Blue will be performing again September 18th, my cousin Kenil's birthday, right at Pugsley Park. Pugsley Park. So we have a time for that. You know what time it's going to start?
Yeah, it starts at 12:30, Mayor. So if you're over at the farmer's market and you've got your strawberries or whatever, your lunch, bring it over to Pugsley Park from 12:30 to 2. Ray Blue will be there with his wonderful musician friends. It's another testament to the wonderful kind of talented people in the city of Peekskill, and having Pugsley Park open for business is one of the more exciting things that happen this summer, where we get some music happening there and other events that previously hadn't happened in Pugsley Park, even though it's right there on Main Street. So we welcome people making applications to City Hall for doing things in Pugsley Park. We now have a permit structure for that, and we're happy to talk with people about how to organize events in the city.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So yeah, I want to mention that. Also, the September 11th memorial ceremony at 6:30 p.m. organized by the fire department is happening. So that's down there in the riverfront on September 11th, of course. And this Friday is the last outdoor movie, family movie night of the season, organized by our wonderful recreation department. The movie is called Playing with Fire, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully, it'll be good weather. So come on down to the park on Friday evening to catch that. Bring some chairs with you and enjoy the waterfront.
Absolutely.
On that note, the recreation program is registering people into fall programs now. So there's soccer, there's swimming, there's flag football, all sorts of great stuff going on. This past weekend was our last day of the pool being open. So we've changed into fall mode from summer mode. So check out the recreation department's website to find out how to sign up for those fun programs.
Perfect.
That's all I got for now, Mayor.
Yeah, that's me too. We already at 12:40. So do we have any questions from our guests online?
What we got?
I can actually see it today too. So
thank
you everyone. Thank you, Maria. Great job, Peekskill. Rob, hey, Rob, I wonder, keep me posted, Rob, if we're doing or if you're doing Santa this year. I don't know. I know with COVID everything's changed, but just keep me in the loop. And to Sharice, I'm sure the chief will be able to see the comments. I don't see any other on my end.
Well, there's one person asking about when the question of dispensaries for recreational marijuana will be taken up, and that's something I want to talk with the city council about. I think we need to set a date to have that conversation and make a decision about that in October, if at the latest.
Okay.
So there's a couple of policy issues coming up that we're going to talk about. Hopefully, we're getting through a number of them that are set for public hearing and been referred out to the planning board and so on. But certainly the dispensaries item is due for some decision. The survey has been running online now for several months, and we've got a fair amount of data from the community based on what people's feelings are about that topic.
Good.
So I'd say it's ready for a decision, personally.
All right.
Let's see.
Any other?
Well, there's someone saying, will there be a police reform community survey before Chief Helmy retires? I don't know if we have the capability of doing another survey before he retires. The task force was a very intense, and we got a lot done. And one of the items on our list of to do is a community survey. Will it happen before he retires? I don't think so. There's a lot of things that are being done, are going on. I don't think that one's going to get done before September 25th.
Yeah, it's like 2 weeks away.
So that's what we got for now. Thanks, Mayor.
All right, good. Well, listen, to everyone that tuned in, thank you sincerely for watching again and sharing this video so others can watch and see what's going on. We will be here the same time next week. I also want to thank the chief for joining us this evening. And if anybody can and would like to, You can still reach the chief at his email. Just tell him thank you for his service, or wish him well. Don D. Halmy at City of Peekskill. Was it City of Peekskill Police?
It's just cityofpeekskill.com.
Okay, at D. Halmy at cityofpeekskill.com. Let him know that we appreciated him. And as always, I wish you all nothing but the best, and we'll see you same time next week. Andy, thanks again, and have a good afternoon, my friend.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.